Hello, everyone. Super Jerry 27's Nerd Cave is back. It is October, so that means everyone wants to see scary, read scary, play scary, be scared. So I found really quick, this is not a definitive list of horror comics, but these are some of the best and some of my favorites, and they encompass a lot. So we're going to start off with the classics, all right? EC Comics was the GOAT of horror comics back in the day until dumbass do-good motherfucker Frederick Wortham had to come in and ruin comic books in the 50s. They're damaging our children. Shut the fuck up. You ruined comic books. You almost ruined William Gaines, not Max Gaines, William Gaines, and you did bring us Mad Magazine, which is great, but fuck. So, I'm being very careful because the plastic's starting to come off. I need to dust jacket cover these puppies. Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear, Weird Science, Weird Fantasy, and of course, the GOAT, Tales from the Crypt. Yes, I have every one of these archive editions. I've got the 80s reprints of these. These are classics, man. This one, the forward by John Carpenter. The other is forward by R.L. Stine. Contains the first 6 issues of just amazeballs. Uh-oh, this plastic better not be sticking to the cover. Okay, it's not. I need to get some more dust jacket covers and I'll wrap all these. But I mean, this doesn't have like the missing head, that shock and suspense stories, but man. Al Fieldstein was a genius. Ghastly was a genius. Johnny Craig was a genius. I know I'm missing some names and I feel bad for that. Fuck. Oh, I can't remember his name. He killed himself. Fuck, what was his name? Oh, well, you were missed anyway. It wasn't Johnny Craig. It wasn't a Davis. I can't remember his name, but we're going to move on. Those are the classics. Absolute amazing books. I'm not telling you to run out and go buy the originals because that's way too expensive. I believe most of the archives are in paperback now. You're not going to find the Gladstone edition, or is it Gladstone? Gemstone editions anymore. Dark Horse has it. But get them. Local comic book shop. Go there. Go now. Be frightened. It's great. So great. Next up, Steve Niles kind of came into our world with, see if I can get the 30 Days of Night series. This is the first trilogy. It has 30 Days of Night, 30 Days of Night Dark Days, and 30 Days of Night Return to Barrow. I mean, such a simple concept that he cooked up. What if vampires existed and go to Alaska where the sun doesn't shine for 30 days and let hell ensue for all intents and purposes? That's what he did, and then he became one of the top horror writers of that time period. I remember he did Freaks of the Heartland, Wake the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. He did a licensed comic book series of that. Remains, which was a zombie story. Wake the Dead obviously was a Frankenstein story. He did a Bigfoot with Rob Zombie and Richard Corbin. Obviously 30 Days of Night. Like, it's just great stuff. Criminal Macabre, that was one of the ones I was going to talk about. Since I'm talking about Mr. Steve Niles, I'll do it now. This is his latest Criminal Macabre entry. I picked it up off Amazon real quick for the convention he was supposed to come to. Sadly, he did not come, so I'll have to get this signed at a different time. This was excellent. The Criminal Macabre stories are so much fun. It's kind of like a take on Constantine, but Americanized. I don't know, I like it. Supernatural detective Cal McDonald is ripped again from his self-imposed retirement to resume his monster-killing career after hunting down a serial killer priest with a blood-draining knife on a trail leading him directly to the gates of hell. I don't know, I read this, it makes me want more Criminal Macabre and Cal McDonald. I don't know what happened to the movie that was supposed to star Thomas Jane, and I don't think I ever got the final issues of Supernatural Freak Machine with Kelly Jones. Oh, Kelly Jones art, so good. But such good stuff. Up next, if you're more into more of the superhero things, you see behind me Marvel Zombies. I will say that the Marvel Zombies stuff written by Robert Kirkman and Mark Millar are the best. I don't know if these are out of print anymore. They should be in paperback, I hope, but I honestly don't know. Obviously, Marvel Zombies #1, which showed us that world and just how horrible it was. Of course, Arthur, I don't know how to say his last name, Arthur Sudam's gorgeous art of recreating classic covers in zombie form. Then there was Marvel Zombies Dead Days, which was just a one-shot. But this hardcover, hopefully trade paperback, also contains Ultimate Fantastic Four 21 through 23, 30 through 32, and Black Panther 28 through 30. I'm going to check that out. I don't remember that being a part of this. But the Ultimate Fantastic Four is Mark Millar and Greg Land, where they introduce us to the Marvel Zombies world because Ultimate Reed Richards is an idiot. And he believed him. And then, of course, Marvel Zombies 2. The original creative team is back out for one more outing. Look at that. Look at that Steranko homage. Oh, God. Sundheim is such a great artist. I wish I would have found, because I have Army of Darkness versus Marvel Zombies, and he did all the covers, and I wish I would have found those in my stacks before his signing ended, because I would have loved to send one of those. And I think I have 2 copies of Dead Days as well. I'm going to have to dig them out. But I have all of them in floppy except the newer stuff, like Marvel Zombie. I have 1 issue. It's not as good. Like Fred Valente is a good writer, but he's no Robert Kirkman. And that's why Robert Kirkman is still comic book royalty. And then this one, you wouldn't think it's a horror one. I hunted this down because I love Barry Windsor Smith, and he disappeared for a while. Like a lot of my favorite artists from the 90s and 80s and 2000s. But this is monsters. This was pitched as a Hulk story that Marvel rejected because it was too dark. So he and IDW, is this IDW? Fantagraphics decided to pump it out. It's gorgeous in black and white, and it's scary. Like, I'm trying to put this so I don't get dinged on YouTube, but you cannot trust your government. And you can Google anything you want. The Tuskegee Experience is the big one. It's one of the big ones, but there are many, and we know that the U.S. military does stuff. This kind of takes place that the U.S. military did stuff to another person to make them an ultimate killing machine, and then just what ensues. The year is 1964. Bobby Bailey doesn't realize he is about to fulfill his tragic destiny when he walks into a U.S. Army recruitment office. Secretive, damaged, innocent, trying to forget a past and looking for a future, Bobby is the perfect candidate for a secret U.S. government experimental program, an unholy continuation of a genetics program that was discovered in Nazi Germany nearly 20 years earlier in the waning days of World War II. Bailey's only ally and protector, Sergeant McFarlane, intervenes, which sets off a chain of cascading events that spin out of everyone's control. As the titular monsters multiply, becoming real and metaphorical, the story reaches a crescendo of moral reckoning. This book was amazing. It took me a long time to read. I mean, it's a Bible. Maybe this was a gift. I don't remember, but maybe I was talking about it to someone got it for me. Because I don't remember, and that's bad. If it was a gift and you gave it to me, I'm sorry. If I bought it myself, thank you. But it is great. Because I don't remember this came out on Christmas time, so maybe it was a gift. So good. Barry Windsor Smith hasn't missed a day. It's just as good as his Solar, his Conan, and his Wolverine. This is a must-read. It'll get you thinking. Open your mind a little bit. But those are a lot of the horror comics that I like. I know there are tons out there. I know there's The Haunt. God, so many that I don't have or didn't dig out in time, or in the 5 minutes I spent finding these. Yeah, YouTube's my side gig, right? But let me know. I would love to know horror comics. Give me scary comics. Let me know. Kind of tell me where to find them, and I will definitely look for them. I actually kind of need to look for The Haunt. Creech as well, I believe. Both of those are Coppola image things that I just didn't get back in the day because I probably didn't have the money or know about it. I'm trying to be more tuned in so that my comic book store doesn't fucking wring my neck with the stuff that I want. But yeah, please let me know what I may have missed horror comics wise. Please. I know Bruce Jones does a lot of horror. I've got something by him that's horror, and where is it? I don't know. That's okay. It was Bruce Jones and Bernie Wrightson. It might have signed by Bernie Wrightson. I just can't remember the name of it, but it was scary. But let me know. Please let me know. And even if it's manga, I'll take scary manga as well. Like, comment, subscribe, share, or dislike. Bye.